One of the ways to identify a very valid supply and demand zone on the chart is for you to be able to answer two questions. One, did the supply and demand zone have an imbalance candle? Two, did the imbalance cause a shift in market structure? Now, if you're able to answer these two questions, you can be able to tell if this demand zone is going to be valid or not. In this video, I'm going to show you how to identify a valid supply and demand zone on the chart. But before we go into that, if you're seeing me for the first time, my name is Divine, and what I basically do on this channel is to document how I trade and as well show you the mindset behind my strategy. If you want to be like this, I want you to like, subscribe, and as well drop a comment. I'll be right back.
Now let's for instance look at AUD/USD. The first we want to do is to understand direction of the market. Then we can use that direction to identify a supply zone or a demand zone. And where we want to identify this direction is on the higher time frame. Now for me, daily time frame is always the higher time frame for me. So I'm going to go to daily time frame and see what price is telling me that price is going to. Now on daily time frame, the major thing here is to mark out the key levels and or as well understand direction. So I'm basically doing two things on this daily time frame: the direction and as well the key level. Now, if you have to look with our eyes here, we can clearly see that price. You cannot understand what price is doing here with our eyes because it's not clear for us what price is doing. But if I have to use the trend line, we can use trend line to understand what price is doing. Now, from this point here was a support line here. Price was clearly on a downtrend, and here is the resistance for that support here. And what you can see is that at this point here, at this whole point here, this resistance became a support. So clearly, we are in an uptrend because price broke above the resistance at this level here. It tests this resistance here, and price is going to go to the upside. So what I'm going to be basically looking for is to understand that we are in an uptrend, and for every uptrend, we want to look for demand zone. But before we go into looking for demand zone, we simply need to understand where are the key levels in this daily time frame. Where are the key levels? Where are the points where we are going to pay attention to? Now, if you have to look closely here, we'll see that where we want to pay attention to is simply at this level here, and likely at this level here. So we're going to pay attention to what price is doing. At these key levels here. Let me remove this trend line so we'll not get ourselves confused. Remember, trend line is telling us that we're in an uptrend. So what's the key level saying now? We have understood that this point is our support key level, and this point here is our resistance key level. So what I'm going to definitely do now is to see how we can understand what price is doing at these key levels here. And what we want to do that is simply on the 4 hours time frame. So we're going to go to the 4 hours time frame and understand what this key level is doing here and identify our supply, our demand zone now. Now, because we're looking for demand zone because price is telling us that we're in an uptrend. Remember, what I want to look for on the 4 hours time frame is to understand what price is doing, or let me say the market structure and as well the supply demand zone. But for in this case now, we're looking for a demand zone. Now, if I'm to study what price is doing at this level here, we can clearly see that price is in an uptrend. Why? Because when price came to this key level here, price gave us a high, and this is the high here. When price gave us this high, price also gave us this low. When price gave us this low, price gave us this our high here, which is the key level now. So basically what price is doing from this point is that price is simply creating a series of higher highs and higher low. So on this 4 hour time frame, we are in an uptrend. The market structure is saying that we're in an uptrend because price is creating a series of higher highs and higher lows. So where is the demand zone we're looking for in this zone here? Now the first demand zone that price gave us here was where price give us this demand zone here. So this was the first demand zone that price gave us here. And what can you see? When price came back to this zone here, price is respecting this demand zone. So what this means is that price is now respecting demand zone. And what we want to do next now is for us to understand why did this demand zone hold, and where is our next demand zone. And if we are able to identify our next demand zone, did that demand zone break structure, or did it change. Now what I want to do is for us to understand what price have done at this demand zone and why this demand zone was able to hold. Now what I want to ask ourselves first is that for every demand zone there must be an imbalance, and that imbalance must cause a break or market structure or a shift in market structure. Now if I had to look at this previous one here, we see that when price gave us this demand zone here and gave us this shift market structure, that means this imbalance here give us a shift in market structure. That means this demand zone is likely going to be valid. That was why price came back to this zone and price is respecting this demand zone. But what happened next? When price gave us this demand zone, price also gave us another demand zone here. And this is the demand zone that price gave us here. Now this is the recent demand zone here. So I'm looking for price to come back to this zone so that we can continue to buy to the upside. But before that, we have to understand what price have done from this zone and likely know if price is going to take out every other demand zone or price is likely going to hold this demand zone. Now, what we want to simply do here is to understand what price have done from this point here. And we can clearly see that this is our recent demand zone. We need to refine it to be able to understand what price is doing at this level. And we want to do that on the 1 hour time frame. Now, on the 1 hour time frame, remember we're paying attention to what price is doing at this our recent demand, what price have done at this our recent demand zone here, and this is where you're likely going to buy from if you are to buy from this demand zone. So what I want to do now is that I want to ask ourselves these two questions: did this imbalance cause a shift in market structure? And now what I want to ask ourselves is this: did this demand zone create an imbalance? And as well, did the imbalance give us a shift in market structure? Now, for us to answer that, we have to go to their previous data and understand what price have done. Now, when price got to this key level here, what I can clearly see is that price was giving us a series of lower lows and lower highs. This is the lower high, and here is the lower low. This is the lower high. This is lower low. This is lower low. This is a lower low. Now this is the lower high. So every low has a high. Now if you have to look at the recent swing high and the swing low here, you can clearly see that the recent swing low and swing low and swing high here is simply this low that is here and this high that is here. Now when price give us this imbalance, this demand zone here, did this imbalance give us a shift in market structure? Yes. Why? Because it took out this lower high here and gave us this high here. So this point now becomes a high, and now this high again also induced liquidity at this point, so giving us a double top here, which means that price is likely going to come back to that zone or that point there. That's what it simply means. So having answered that now, what I'm going to see is that this imbalance gives us a shift market structure and the demand zone give us an imbalance. So like the first step we need to know if this demand is going to hold is very valid, which is to identify an imbalance and confirm if the imbalance gives us a shift in market structure, which it exactly did. So what I'm going to do for that is I want to wait for price to come back to this demand zone here. So I'll look for an opportunity to buy. And the opportunity I want to see now for price to make is this. I want to see price come back to this zone here. Give us some sort of liquidity here by simply moving like this. And then come into this zone and continue to take out this our induced buy side liquidity here. So this is what I want to see on this zone here. I want to likely see price give us some sort of liquidity here, which can be double top, double bottom liquidity, or maybe give us an equal high here, equal high, or as well trend line liquidity. So I want to see all of these things to come in place first before I'm likely going to buy from this demand zone here. And because this thing does not guarantee always, I'm going to apply a very good risk management while I'm doing this. For instance, if I'm to buy here now, I'm going to simply buy from this level here and target this liquidity that price induced here. My stop loss is likely going to be above this low here that price gave us here. So this is going to be my stop loss here, which is exactly 32 pips, or let me call it 30 pips. So I'm targeting for price to come back to this my point that price induced liquidity, and for that to confirm, I need to see price induced liquidity at this area here. So for me, this is a possible entry on AUD USD, and I'm likely going to take this trade, and I'm going to show you the result. If it goes to my take profit, I'm going to show you, and if it goes to my stop loss, I'm going to still show you on this channel. So if you find this content very useful and very helpful, I'd like you to subscribe, drop a comment, and ask me any questions that you don't understand, and I'm going to respond to you. And as well, you can like this video. I'm going to see you on the next video, and as well, you're going to see me on the next video. Peace.